Did you know that Frank's Red Hot Wing Sauce is actually vegan? Let's make a buffalo chicken sandwich. So this is a seitan-based sandwich, which means vital wheat gluten.
That's right. We're going to use 1/2 cup of vital wheat gluten because we're only going to make a small batch.
Yeah.
This is for 2.
Yeah, this will make 2 sandwiches. If you are gluten sensitive, I'm sorry, this is not the recipe for you. There is no substitute in this case. 1/2 cup.
Next is 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast.
And yes, we keep ours in a basil container because that's what we have. I'm going to eyeball the 2 tablespoons.
What does nutritional yeast add to the seitan, Brian?
Okay, it adds a little bit of flavor, but it also adds a textural component. It's like a dough conditioner. It'll make it seem less chewy, more texture.
Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of chickpea flour.
Chickpea flour does much the same. Not as much for flavor, mostly for texture. If you make seitan from just straight vital wheat gluten, it tends to be kind of gummy and very, very chewy, which is okay too, depending on what you're doing with it. But for this, I actually want something that has a good texture here's the thing, it's going in a sandwich. So you gotta be able to bite through it fairly easily. Because if you try to bite it and it's like, and you're just gnawing on it, that's not any good. You need it to be able to be one clean bite straight through. So that's why we want.
How was that again?
Anyway.
Speaking of flavor, we're going to add some more flavor. We're going to use just plain old poultry seasoning.
Yeah, I've been doing this lately instead of using the broths and things like that. And this seems to work almost just as well. There's a lot of extra flavors that are going to go into this particular seitan sandwich. So you don't really need to add a lot of the broth, and it just adds a lot of sodium. So we're going to keep this a little bit lower sodium. How much do I call for?
2 tablespoons.
This is just the one by Badia, by the way. 2 tablespoons, huh?
That was your
I'm gonna adjust that to 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
'Cause I was a little generous there with the 2. I don't know where I got 2 from.
Up next is the Wonder Twins garlic powder and onion powder. We're gonna do 1 teaspoon of each.
At the same time. Just cause. Okay, not exactly the same time. Close enough.
Okay, so this is our dry ingredients. Let's go ahead and mix this up.
You just wanna make sure it's completely incorporated. You don't have to get too fancy.
A tablespoon of white wine vinegar.
Okay. And don't skimp on the white wine vinegar. Definitely put it in there. It helps to neutralize some of the VWG flavor. Some people don't really like it at all. Doesn't really bother me.
And a 1/4 cup of plain old water.
You might need a little more, you might need a little less. I'm gonna put in the 1/4 cup and then start mixing it around, see if I need more. Looks like I need about 2 more tablespoons. And just put it in a little bit at a time until you get it to a dough-like consistency. You know what dough is supposed to be like. If this is your first time making seitan, it's actually really, really simple. I don't do extraneous crazy stuff with it. I try to keep it as simple as I can. And this is how we eat it all the time because, I don't know, I do all the cooking around here. Well, not all, but most of the cooking around here. And I don't have time to be messing around for 3 days to make seitan for 1 meal, you know? I've seen some recipes that are like days to make. And I'm just like, okay, is there really that much difference? For a special occasion, I might mess around like that. Okay, I need just a touch more water.
Basically what you're looking for is that all your dry ingredients are incorporated into the mass.
All right, and now I can scrape the side of the bowl. A little too wet is better than a little too dry. There's a good rule of thumb for you. It's not, like, don't make it wet, but a little too much water is better than not enough because gluten will not form right if it's too dry, so you need it to be wet enough.
Your dry ingredients also won't blend well if it's too dry, and you'll have pockets of dry material, which is no good to bite into.
Yeah, it's kind of nasty. I got it all incorporated. Now I want to knead this up. I just do it right on the board. Nice and simple. Just give it a quick knead, minute or 2. Doesn't need much. Just want it to be nice and smooth and start forming those strands that you see in seitan, like this. See how it tears? That's what you're looking for. You want those fibers to form. And I know what you're thinking, that doesn't look like much. Yeah, it expands a little bit when it cooks. So once you have it pretty well kneaded, it only takes like 2 minutes. I like to flatten it out a bit so that I can evenly gauge cutting it in half. Something like that. We're gonna make 2 cutlets out of this today. We're just gonna make 1 sandwich though, because we don't need more than 1 sandwich. We're just gonna share it, you know? And I like to put it in my palm and just kind of shape it. Kind of like when you're making sushi. Is that nigiri?
Oh, yeah.
You put it in your hand and you do this. This is a really big piece of nigiri, I'll be honest. But same concept. And you want it to all form one piece. And this is the bun we're using. So I want to shape it roughly to the size of the bun.
So if you had round buns, you could totally make a round patty that would fit appropriately to that bun shape.
Yeah. And just remember, it's going to expand some, so you don't have to be exact with the size. That's 1. And yes, the little pat at the end, got to do that. It needs to know that it was a good dough. If it doesn't hold together at this point, put it all back together and re-knead it for just another couple minutes. It should hold together. Like I'm just pressing the cracks together and they hold. It's just, this is a little bit of a looser seitan than I would normally make. Like if you were gonna just eat it on a plate, this might be a little softer than you think. But that's the idea. It should feel like a pounded cutlet kind of thing. And, you know.
Because we're not remotely done. There's more to come.
There's so much more to come. But anyway, okay, there's our 2. Over to the stove. Okay, first things first, you want to get your skillet going. I'm going to be using a cast iron skillet, and I have the heat set to 5.63 to me. I'm just going to give this a minute or 2 to heat up, because if you could do this, it's not hot. Something that I like to use, it is optional because you can just use a spatula, is a burger press. This happens to be the one from Lodge. I think we could put a link to this, right?
They don't sell that style anymore.
Oh, but they have a square one, right? They do make them. You can get a burger press. It doesn't matter.
I'll put a burger press
Just a burger press. That's all you need. To our hot pan, a couple of sprays of canola oil or the oil of your choice. I'm not going to tell you what kind of oil to use. And then put in our cutlets. And I'm cooking both of them even though we're only making 1 sandwich for a reason. It's much better to store them cooked than not cooked. And then burger press on top. I just like to give a slight pressure to them. Not too much, just a little bit. Mostly so I get 2 flat edges, top and bottom. Okay, after like maybe 2 minutes, they look like that. And see how they flattened out and they're starting to expand slightly. Now, the burger press helps them to not expand as much, but it also makes that flat surface. And I'm just gonna flip them over, nice and brown. We're not looking for dark color here. This is more like, we just want it to hold its shape when it goes in for the next step. And sometimes I'll just give it a little tap with the press here too. Just let it sit on there for a minute. About another 3-4 minutes, these are going to be ready to move forward. All right, a couple more minutes have gone by. That's just water coming off, hitting the oil. If they stick, this is why I like to use cast iron with a metal spatula. See, they just come right off. They're a little browner on this side. That's kind of usual because the oil is pretty much gone. So, all right, these are done. Turn off the burner and bring them over. And if you look, they're about the size of the bun. They're a little bit bigger, and that's okay. Okay, when I say done, they're not really done, but they're almost done. They're getting done. How's that sound? Okay, next up, we're gonna pressure cook them to finish the inside. The outside is now set, but we need the inside to cook through. So I have here our Instant Pot with steamer basket. And what I like to do is a little piece of parchment paper in the middle. So what I'm gonna do is make a circle about the size of our steamer basket. And to do that, you take a square, you fold it in half, then you fold that in half, keeping the fold towards you, right? The initial folded part. And then you fold that diagonally in half. Like you remember making snowflakes when you were a kid? If you don't, I'm really sorry. It was a fun thing to do. No 2 ever came out the same, just like real snowflakes.
I made snowflakes. I'm a Florida native, so.
Yeah, I figure everybody had to have done it, right? Okay, then what I like to do, I will hold the point at the center, and then I like to leave just a little bit of an edge so that I'm not going all the way out. I want to leave some airflow, and then you just cut it off. Yes, it does waste a bit of parchment paper, but if you're crafty, you can use those extras for other things. And then when you open it up, I got a circle, see? Just like that, simple. In the bottom of the Instant Pot though, you want to put about a cup of water. Otherwise it'll give you that burn warning thing. We don't want that. And I'm going to take one of our fillets, cutlets, whatever you want to call them. Stick it in one side, put the other one on the other side. Try not to make them touching. They will still expand slightly more during this step too. Okay, in they go. I'm gonna pressure cook this. So this is under pressure. Pressure cook this for 20 minutes. That's all they really need. All right, so a buffalo thing wouldn't be a buffalo thing without something to dip it in, right? Now, some people like blue cheese. I'm not a big fan of blue cheese, but I like ranch.
We're Team Ranch. Now, of course, you can go to the store and buy some store-bought dairy-free ranch, but personally, I feel like those taste like crap. So we're gonna make our own version, which I find superior without comparison.
Okay, starts with some Mori Nu tofu. Now, this is probably a little bit over a half block. You really want about a half block to make this amount. And I'm just gonna get it in there as not neatly as possible.
But you know what is better than ranch? It's more ranch.
Yeah, this is gonna make more ranch than you need for 2 sandwiches. And this is Kite Hill almond yogurt. I love this stuff. What do I say, 3 tablespoons?
3 tablespoons,
Yeah.
yep.
You can use a little more, a little less. Now, here's the thing. True ranch is a mixture of sour cream and mayonnaise. Now, we don't have sour cream.
There's also
mayonnaise.
buttermilk versions.
Yeah, but they're still sour cream and mayonnaise, more or less mixtures. So you can use vegan mayonnaise to make this if you want to. You can use a vegan sour cream if you want to. If you have access to those things, totally fine. I'm not going to tell you you can't use them.
I believe we have various recipes for ranch on the channel, including a spicy ranch, which if you like it extra spicy ranch
Crack sauce.
with this sauce would be
Actually, I use just Frank's Red Hot, not the wing sauce.
Yep.
Anyway, next.
Lemon juice, 1 teaspoon.
Okay. If you're using all mayo or like all tofu, then you want a little bit more lemon juice, maybe like 2 teaspoons. But because we're using a mixture, I'm going to use just a teaspoon.
We're already getting some of the tang in the yogurt.
Exactly. By the way, if you hear any gurgling or hissing, that's the Instant Pot starting up.
1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar.
Again, with the tang. If you're not using yogurt, you might need a little bit more of this. You can leave it out too if you find that it's too strong for you.
The Wonder Twins are back. Garlic powder and onion powder, 1 tablespoon of each.
Yep. I like it oniony and garlicky. And the Instant Pot just flipped the thing, so it should be quieter now. So technical, flipped the thing.
In other words, it came up to pressure.
Yep.
And last, but certainly not least, is dill weed. We're going to be adding a full tablespoon of dill.
Funny story. I used to hate dillweed, and I started making ranch dressing because of her, and I gained a strong appreciation for it. You can add the dill afterwards if you want to. I tend to put it in and just blend it up, and I don't worry about it because it does get blended in, but it's not a big deal.
And now we blend.
Yep, you want it to be smooth. As always though, see, look at that, it's all stuck to the bottom. Give it a good shake. Break that up a little bit. It already looks like ranch dressing. And after blending, we have a lovely ranch dressing that you can pretty much put on anything. You could put this on the bumper of a Volkswagen and it would taste good.
Now, like in all things cooking, it's important for you to give it a taste at this juncture to see if it is the flavor profile that you prefer. Do you want more garlic? Add more garlic.
Give it a try.
More dill? Add more dill.
Give it a taste.
If it's perfection, then you're set to go. Also, ideally, you're gonna want to let this chill for a while. Right now, it's kind of loose, and keeping it in the refrigerator is gonna help it get a little more thick.
Yeah, with at least 3 C's. Yeah, that's good. Ooh, nice and dilly. It's very dilly. All right, so we're just gonna set that to the side. You know what? I might put that in the fridge because we have a little while. We're still waiting on the seitan. Back in a sec. Now you can certainly put a sandwich together with the seitan as it is. It just came out of the Instant Pot. You can certainly just throw that on a bun, throw on some sauces, and you're good to go. But why would you want to do that? Let's take it up a notch. We're gonna bread this thing. Now, to do that, I have here my Mr. Coffee coffee grinder. It doesn't have to be Mr. Coffee brand. Any coffee grinder will work.
But this is our designated spice grinder.
Yeah. And I'm going to grind up some flax seeds. These are golden flax seeds, but any flax seeds will work because we're going to be making a flax egg. I am going to do about 2, well, that's like 1.5 tablespoons. Yeah, you know what, let's just call it 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of flax. Grind it up. Okay, so we got our ground flax. I'm just gonna put that into one of these containers. You'll want 3 glass containers, large enough to hold your seitan so you can kind of move it around. The last one should be a little bit larger if they're all pretty tight, so you can do the breadcrumbs. But anyway, I'm gonna take that and some water. A cup, half a cup, don't get crazy. Just, you wanna make a mixture. Enough that you can dunk your seitan in.
Basically, we're making a flax egg.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. And just whisk it until mixed. Let it sit for a few minutes and it thickens up. If you've never done that before, that's exactly how you do it. Just let it sit and it'll thicken up and it works beautifully. And then we're gonna use some flour. You can use rice flour if you prefer. You can use oat flour. You can use all kinds of flour. I'm using bread flour because it's what I have. You want some breadcrumbs. Be careful when you're buying breadcrumbs. Sometimes they have like whey or egg products in them. And I don't need much, just, I don't know, half a cup, quarter cup to do one piece of seitan. I might just do the other piece of seitan too, just because we got it here.
We are not using panko breadcrumbs because they are a larger texture.
Yeah.
And we feel that it just makes too much texture.
Yeah,
now,
it's hard to
if
deal
you're a
with.
fan of panko, then go ahead and use panko.
But we have flour and breadcrumbs. They're not seasoned. I don't like having not seasoned things. So I have some smoked paprika. Just gonna put a little bit in the flour and a little bit in the breadcrumbs because, you know, why not? Black pepper, put a little bit in each. You can put salt in too if you really want to. I'm not huge on using a lot of salt, so we're not doing it. Little garlic, which is this? This is garlic powder and some onion powder. You can use whatever seasonings and herbs and stuff you like, really. I mean, you know, it's your sandwich. But I like these things. They add a good amount of flavor to it and make it really, it takes it up a notch. It really does. It's kind of amazing.
For the breading, we are going to try to avoid any leaf type seasonings because those are probably going to burn.
And mix this up. It's probably easier if you use a spoon or a fork or something rather than what I'm doing, but you know, this works too.
This gives you a full body, upper body workout.
Is that what that does?
Yeah.
See, I knew there was a reason I did it that way. You can use your finger if you really want to. All right. The trick though is have everything kind of evenly spread in the container. And the next step, very, very important, have your pan ready to go. We washed this out, so I'm just going to add some oil to it. We're using canola, but like I said, use whatever oil makes you feel good. Probably like 2 tablespoons. That's why I like to use the little sprayer because it's really hard to put in too much. And I want that ideally to be about 350 degrees. So I'm putting it to that 5.64 on the stove, and that's what we're gonna go with. Okay, let me check our flax egg. Check this out.
It's thick, multiple C's.
That's like 12 C's right there. Okay, so before you get started, make sure you have your flour, then your flax egg, then your breadcrumbs. That's important. Off camera, I messed up the first one. So we're gonna do this again. You take your seitan, you put it into the flour because wet and dry don't like to combine. They won't stick together. And you just wanna get a light coating to dry it off.
Dry and dry won't stick together.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so you get a light coating of the flour just to make sure that it's dried up because the steaming process. And if you decided to simmer your seitan after the frying, you really have to do this. Otherwise, it's just not going to work at all. Then, just a quick dip into the wet. Notice I used my left hand in the dry, right hand now in the wet. Just get a little bit of a coating on it. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. Goes a long way. I'm just flipping it a couple of times. And then into the breadcrumbs. This is where I'll grab the dry again and just kind of bang it around in there, shake it around. Trying to get it up the sides before I take my hand in there and flip it over.
Good.
Like that. Bang it around again. Now it's ready for frying. So over to the stove. And right into our pan. You should hear some sizzle if it's hot enough. And yes, you can use a lot more oil if you want to. I don't like to use a lot. Makes a mess. And just for good measure, I'm gonna put the other one in here too. And I usually just let that cook for, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes per side. All right, after a couple of minutes, I'm just gonna get under there and flip one to see how we're doing. That's cooking pretty nice. Get under this one too. Get a little oil over on that side. You can cook with a lot more oil. I'm just showing you how to do it with very little. Oh, they're cooked up perfectly. Another 3 to 5 minutes on this side, and we're ready to make a sandwich. All right, so now it's time to prepare the bun. Now, ours don't come pre-cut. These are just from Walmart. They're actually really good, fresh from their bakery. We freeze them, and when we're ready for them, we just leave it out to thaw, and it comes out perfect, just like the day we bought it. I was considering toasting these, but I don't think I'm going to because we already have good texture with the crunch on the outside of the chicken. So we're just gonna go with it from here.
If you want your bun toasted, go for it.
Everybody likes toasted buns. So the first thing I wanna do is put a layer of the ranch dressing onto the bun. Because it has some oils and fats in it, it'll keep things from soaking into the bread. All right, you can use as little or as much as you want, you know, it's okay. I'm gonna do top and bottom, just because, you know, I'm feeling saucy today. I'm probably gonna use more later though.
If it were my sandwich, it would be 90% sauce. And
All right,
the rest of the other.
I put more sauce. I put more sauce because it's gonna be half your sandwich.
And yes, I'm saying I'm saucy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm also on the bottom bun going to put some lettuce.
We like to add lettuce to this particular sandwich because of that crunch that you may have just heard.
And got some sliced red onion here, you know. If you only have white onion or yellow onion, that's okay too.
If you don't want onion, don't put onion.
Yeah. Now, the seitan. Put it right on top of that.
This is looking fantastic already.
Yes. It's lopsided. Don't fall.
Now, we didn't want our sauce to soak into our bun, but we do want it to soak into our seitan.
Yep. And this is kind of liquidy. I expected it to be thicker.
It's the wing sauce, so it's going to be more liquidous.
I'm just gonna
So you're going to have to be a little bit
pour
careful.
some on. Yeah, like that. And then
You want these?
pickles. Quick. If you don't do them quick, it's gonna drip all over the place.
It's probably going to drip all over the place anyway.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's
It's not a good sandwich unless it drips everywhere.
That's right. It's a sign of quality.
All right, and then put the lid on. Give it a little press. It's already dripping out the side.
It's fantastic.
I was gonna cut it in half.
Oh, okay.
Now, the best part of every cooking show, we get to eat it. This is gonna be messy, and I'm gonna make it messier because I'm putting more sauce on it. Derica is saucy, so she wants more sauce too.
I do.
There you go.
How'd you know?
Whoops. It comes out very fast. I may have overdone the sauce on hers.
I got napkins out because I knew what was coming.
All right.
All right.
You ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Everything works. The little bit of the crunch from the lettuce works beautifully with the little bit of a crunch on the outside of the seitan. The seitan is soft enough that you can chew right through. The bread has just a little bit of chew. Everything about this is just wonderful. That wing sauce is amazing.
Yeah.
We weren't kidding. It's not, it has no animal products in it whatsoever.
It has a butter-like seasoning.
Yeah, it actually has butter type flavor. Now, I don't know what that actually means, but I didn't see anything in it that says it's not vegan. So,
I actually looked it up.
oh, you did?
It specifically says that there's no animal products.
Impressive.
So,
Got my mustache.
if you like your sandwiches saucy like we do, make this sandwich.
And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on The Bistro.
Bistro.